Welcome into the video, welcome into the channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. And today might finally be the day where I install the latest software update on my 77-inch LG G4 that's on your screen right now. And truthfully, I've been seeing the message pop up at the bottom for about a week straight now, every single time I turn on the display, letting me know that I can upgrade from WebOS24 to WebOS25. And not only does it pop up when I first turn on the display, but at random other points when I'm either gaming or watching content or whatever. So I've heard the feedback on some of my other videos saying, hey, just do it for science, go ahead and upgrade. But first, in case you haven't seen any of my prior videos, let me give you a couple of reasons why I was hesitant to do it. And if you're new to the channel or if you know anything about this channel, the main thing I do on this channel is I install these software updates immediately, like before they even get pushed to the display or pushed to the public. I install them manually from USB because I want to see what's going to happen to my display. And I do it in the name of science for you so that you can make an educated decision on whether you should install that update or not. I give you tips like whether it had some problems during installation. I let you know if it breaks a major feature right after installing. Things like that. So that's my first tip. Click subscribe and turn on the bell if that matters to you. But this particular update, which is a big one, a WebOS upgrade, I have not updated yet for two reasons. Number one, for the first time in the history of this channel, I have a software update on one of my displays that I am 100% satisfied with. No performance issues at all. And that made me hesitant to want to move forward. And number two, is because of this, the LG service menu. And by the way, if you're watching this and you have an LG G4 or a C4 or something like that, and you try to go into service menu and you don't see this, that's because I've unlocked the service menu. And that is point number two. And the main reason to even enter the service menu in the first place on an LG OLED display is to take care of the two options you see over on the right, which is called TPC enable and GSR enable. By turning those off, you effectively have full control over something called ASBL dimming. And that number two concern stems from, by moving from WebOS24 to 25, will I now get that lockdown service menu back on here, just like my G4 with WebOS24 came with out of the box? Now, that's not such a big deal in all totality because I have a program on my computer that I can immediately go in and unlock it again. But it's just the fact that I'm satisfied with the current version number on the display, which let me pull it up for you because I know you're probably wondering what's this awesome version number that you're so hesitant to move from. So let's go into support, software update, and here it is. The version number that I am 100% satisfied with is 23.23.05. And as you can see right here, there it is. It's all in all its glory. It's letting me know an important software update is available. If you were curious on what the new version number it's going to be, it's 33.21.85. Let me read that differently. 33.21.85. And while we're here, let's go over here to the scroll panel and just take a look, and we'll just kind of do a high-level browse of what actually comes with this. For the first time, LG Smart TVs will undergo a WebOS version upgrade for up to 5 years. I really like that. I think that's really cool that they're willing to commit to 5 years when you buy a display. We're going to scroll down. Key improvements, that's important. The two things to note here are AI Concierge and AI Chatbot. The Concierge recommends content and provides usage information based on your viewing history. This will not apply to me at all because I consume all content on this display through an Apple TV 4K. Then right below that, it says if you have questions or issues using the TV, you can chat with the chatbot to identify and resolve the problem. That's a really cool feature to add on here, especially for those of you that are not necessarily technically savvy. It would be nice to have a little bot you could pull up and be like, hey, why is this happening? Can you help me fix it? That's pretty cool. All right, new cue cards. Scroll up. News, gaming portal, new and hot, etc. Again, will not apply to me at all because I'm never on the WebOS home screen. News cue card provides personalized content. See, not going to apply to me, might apply to you. In the game cue card, you enjoy the latest popular and recommended games ranging from casual to cloud gaming. I think it's cool that there's a thing called cloud gaming, but as somebody who games somewhat competitively on a game like Call of Duty. You'll never find me gaming on a cloud service like that. I don't know how you do it. Maybe if you're playing just a, you know, more of like a, what do they call it? Like a story mode type of game where it's limited combat, some of those, what do they call them? My mind's going blank. I may put it on the screen. Those games like House of Ashes and the one that's called like Median something, the Dark Pictures ones or the Dark Anthology, those kind of games you could probably get away with. Sorry to get off on that side tangent. Moving on. Additionally, various cue cards such as the new and hot quickly conveniently show you the latest content. See, again, I would want that to go away, not pop up. Personalized picture wizard. You can automatically adjust picture quality based on your preferences. Now, if this is talking about that picture mode, where you go into the different picture modes and you can basically walk through steps and you just basically choose the image you like the best and then it spits out an overall image that you supposedly will like. That is never, I tried it once on my C3, I believe is when they debuted that, and it was terrible. So my recommendation to you, if you're looking for a base canvas to do settings for your picture mode, start with Filmmaker. Anyway, let's go on down. Google Cast. Enjoy high definition video playback on your TV via Google Cast. Enjoy your favorite apps and content from your device on a vivid, high quality, big screen. Okay, LG, Google Cast, that's pretty cool. I'm actually, after installing this update, I'm gonna try this out. I'm just gonna, basically cast something from my phone and check out the quality. I may record a video on that. Leave a comment below if you wanna see that. All right, let's go on down. LG Gallery Plus. With LG Gallery Plus, you can create your own albums and collect photos tailored to your personal tastes. Okay, now is this something where you can basically collect them and use them as screensavers? Because if you can say upload some cool pictures of your family, your kids or whatever, and make that your screensaver instead of what you're looking at here on the Apple TV 4K, that'd be pretty cool. Choose Variaro, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and set them as your TV background. Gee, Quicksand TV, all you had to do is just scroll one more bullet point down and you'd have the answer. Pretty cool. Generate your own images using voice commands and enjoy them in, hold up. Is this like generating an AI image using voice? That could get you in some big trouble, especially if you have kids that use the display. All right, after WebOS upgrade, T's and C's may change, don't care about that. And big one here to note, it is not possible to revert to a previous software version. This is a big one because that's, again, if you're not ready to go to this new one, you can't go backwards. So for me, considering I'm completely happy with the current version number 23.23.05, I know I can't go backwards if it really F's something up here. All right, so the next thing for me to do is get the install started. This update's been out for a while now, so I feel like you don't need to sit with me during install. So I'll come back on the other side and I'll talk about my experience with the install process, and we'll get into the update. We may even test a few things out. But most notably, I will absolutely pull up the service menu again after installing just to see if it's locked down again. And here we go. All right, there you go. Software has been updated. I went ahead and skipped the splash screen where it was, rebooting itself or whatever. But here we go. All new WebOS with a simplified WebOS. Conveniently use various apps on your TV. This is kind of very basic stuff here as we have a spinny wheel there in the center. All right, I've sat on this screen for, I don't know, like 45 seconds. All right, and here we go. I skipped through all the other BS. It got stuck on that all new WebOS screen for what seemed like forever, so I just bypassed it. But let's pull up the new version number up here. The mouse pointer, feels pretty good here. I usually like to test this right after any general software update. That feels pretty good. All right, let's go to support, software update, and there it is. The menu scrolling here feels very good, especially for right after an update. But here's the new version number loaded on the display, 33.21.85. In typical form, I'm gonna go into picture modes here. Now you notice something. It says personalized picture clear. Now that's probably whenever I did the test mode, but that shouldn't be there. And I really don't want to click on it because it's just not a good looking image. But One of the new things in the update talked about the picture wizard. I wondered if it has something to do with this. You go through the different pictures, they put them on the screen, they say, hey, which one of these do you like best? And after doing it like, I don't know, 5-10 times, it'll spit out a mode for you that probably is gonna be up here in this personalized picture. But there you go, that takes care of that. Let's see, anything else? First thing I wanna look at is, did they unlock anything? This is what I like to do here. And this all looks good to me right here, except for Real Cinema on. This is an SDR image, so no surprise there. Let's go into color. And let's see, is it under fine tune? Yeah, so everything's grayed out here, but that's gonna come to life as soon as I click one of these. Let's just do it. Boy, that really brought up that blue, didn't it? No, still there. I thought this would unlock that. Let's try user selection. There we go, brought it up. Look at that, figured it out. All right, let's turn that back off. And we'll go to brightness real quick. And let's see. Now, wait a minute. I could have sworn, I'm gonna have to go back and check some of my old video. I could have sworn on WebOS24, because this is an SDR image, these things were locked. I think these things were locked before because it's SDR. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is really cool if by going to WebOS25, they have now unlocked these. I'm pretty sure dynamic contrast was, I'm pretty sure peak brightness was. Gamma, I can't quite remember. I wanna say that was too. I wanna say the only thing you could do for brightness was definitely pixel brightness. I'll go back and look. I'll put a shot up on the screen, maybe even from one of my old videos. I really should have taken a screenshot of this, but I had no idea that they were going to unlock these for SDR, because this is SDR right here. That is badass right there, LG. If you finally, on HDR, this will be all unlocked, including the dynamic tone mapping, which of course won't be here for SDR. This is how you know right away it's not SDR, or not HDR. There's no dynamic tone mapping option here. But I'm excited about this. I really don't think you could do anything but pixel brightness and contrast. I don't even know that gamma was something you can manipulate, but for sure these two. That's awesome, LG. Now that almost by itself makes it worth it to me. But that's all we're gonna look at in here, because we already know what the actual big feature items were that came with this. The AI concierge and chatbot, the new cue cards, the picture wizard, which I already talked about, Google Cast, and LG Gallery Plus. Those are the big hot items that it talked about before I even did it. But the next thing I want to do is I want to take a look at that service menu. Let's see what that looks like in comparison to the other one that I had unlocked. And it's still unlocked. And if you look over on the top left, and I'll probably also show this on the original one with an arrow, but it clearly says WebOS25 is over there. And it's still unlocked. I'm shocked, guys. I thought for certain this would be locked. Now, for those of you that have a G5 or a C5, and you have one of these service remotes, which is what I'm using to get in here, leave me a comment below. Does your service menu look like this out of the box, or is it locked down? Now, the next thing I want to test is whether the TPC and GSR are still turned off. And they are. Guys, I'm stunned. I thought for certain that by moving to a different WebOS, it was going to completely erase my unlocked mode and put me back in the lockdown state. I am super excited. Now, again, I could go back to that program on my computer and re-unlock it, but it's just something that would take 5-10 minutes out of my day that I didn't need to do if I didn't move to this WebOS. I'm excited. I'm glad that it didn't get relocked. That is awesome. Bravo, LG. Whether that was intended or not, I'm giving you your flowers on that. But the main things that I was concerned about, the performance of 23.23.05, and then the service menu being locked down, I've answered one of those in this video, but you're going to have to click subscribe and turn on the bell, because I'm going to have a series of videos following this letting you know how I feel about this performance-wise. And as you see a random pop-up here, additional settings have been detected, currently connected to Apple. faster. No, I don't even use the Magic Remote. I use the Apple Remote. But anyway, click subscribe and turn on the bell because I'm going to do a series of videos after this going through the performance. I want to see how stable this firmware is compared to the last one. And I'm going to be kind of annoyed if I brought myself some bugs that I didn't have to deal with otherwise, because as far as the big new features that came with this, I may try out the chatbot just to see, how well it actually works. I may even give the picture wizard another try to see if they've improved that. Google Cast, so I'll try out some of these things, but the main thing I was concerned about were those bugs that come with every update anyway, it seems like. Let's see if we have a stable firmware here, guys, but that's going to do it for this video. If you found it entertaining, you found it helpful, if you used this video to make your decision on whether you should install it, be sure to hit the like button. It really helps me out. And if you're new to the channel, I do update videos like this for LG displays, I do settings, etc. You want to stay up to date with your tech electronics, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell. But with all that being said, until the next one,